Morning thoughts.
So I haven't been feeling good past few days. Today I feel better, but it leads me to the question, do I have the Rona? You know, what's funny is that I was talking with a buddy today, and really at the end of the day, anytime anything out of the normal is happening to our bodies, our very first thought has now been programmed to be, do we have the Rona? It's like we forgot about all the other ailments that are out there, all the other viruses. And now it's just if my nose starts to run, do I have the Rona? If I get congested, do I have the Rona? If I cough a few times, am I getting the Rona? If I have a fever, do I have a Rona? I mean, at the end of the day, everything always immediately first goes to, do I have coronavirus? Here's something else that's pretty wild. So, when you get diagnosed with the flu, there's only a few symptoms that you got to look at to kind of determine if you have the flu, right? Fever, uh, possible congestion and runny nose. Maybe there's a couple other symptoms, but for the most part, if you have like a combination of those, it's very likely you're being diagnosed with the flu. The hard part with coronavirus is that I've seen so many different people posting about their symptoms, and they're so different from each other. There is there is some consistency, but and obviously the scariest one being the breathing issues, right? But you've heard of people who are being diagnosed with corona who what they suffer with is just loss of taste and some tiredness. Other people have headaches and tiredness. Other people have greatly affected breathing issues. They're saying it feels like a Mack truck is on their chest, and you have people who are saying that that they got more cold-like symptoms, and on top of that, they've had headache and they're tired. I would say that maybe the fatigue is probably the constant amongst all of it, but there's so many different symptoms, and this is what makes it so difficult. And this is, I think, another reason why everyone's always jump into, do I have the Rona? Because the symptoms are so greatly different. The hard part is that I'm not as quick to go and get tested, because with all the studies I'm showing, just the false negative rates out there, it's tough. It's tough to think like, man, am I getting an accurate result or not? The false positives, just in researching it and what they've said about how much they have to magnify the test in order to look for the virus. I mean, it may not even be that maybe you have a little bit of it, but it's not enough to be transmittable or even to affect you. But because of how much they magnify on the tests, it could produce a false positive. It's just freaking crazy how for any little thing, we always ask ourselves now, do I have the Rona? It's freaking crazy.
Morning thoughts.